Hi, hello everyone. So I just would like to introduce our two presenters today. So they're both ALTs in Nagasaki City. First is Ulrike, she's from South Africa. She's third year. And second is Kate, she's from Australia. She's in her fourth year. So I'll hand over to them. Hi.
Hello everyone, welcome.
Hello, nice to see so many of you.
Yes, we're very happy to have you all.
Yes, so I'm sure you've already worked this out because you signed up for the workshop, but today we're going to be teaching you some Afrikaans. We'll get into that a little bit more in a minute. Let's see, basically we've already gone through all the tech things. I'll just quickly mention, it should have also been in your email, but there are a couple documents, some handouts for the lesson. If you've got those downloaded, that'll come in handy for when you're in the breakout rooms because it'll have what you're actually meant to be practicing on there. So yeah, that's just the final tech thing to go through. Okay, also just a very quick note before we dive into the lesson. We are modeling today's lesson off of, because both Ulrike and I are at both junior high school and elementary school, and we've modeled this off our elementary school lessons that we do here in Nagasaki City. So today I'm going to be playing the role of HRT, so I'm going to be the homeroom teacher. And Ulrike is going to be the ALT, who is fluent in Afrikaans. And we chose this setup because I speak German, which is not the same as Afrikaans, obviously, but they're related in the same language family. So we figured it'd probably be similar to an HRT who hasn't focused in English as their main sort of area of specialty, but they can understand basic commands and things in the classroom. So without further ado, I will get into it. I'm going to start sharing my screen. Please let us know in the chat if you can't actually see the screen and I'll fix that for you. Okay, hopefully that's all working and you are seeing our beautiful PowerPoint. Okay, so we'll just give you a quick lesson overview. So we've got, first, before we dive into Afrikaans itself, I'm going to give you some lesson plan communication tips, just how to get across any language barriers you might have when trying to communicate your lesson plans with HRTs and JTEs. And I've tried to make the tips applicable to both ALTs and Japanese teachers of English as well, because I know there are some of you in this group. Then we've got our South African languages overview. And from this point on, Ulrike, as the ALT, will be leading the lesson. She'll be T1. And then we've got Afrikaans phonics, basic greetings, how to introduce yourself in Afrikaans, and then the Afrikaans version of paper, scissors, rock, or rock, paper, scissors, whatever order you prefer to say those in. Okay, so onto the communicating lesson plans. My first tip is communicate. So please actually talk to your JTEs and HRTs because there is nothing worse than showing up to a lesson and you don't know what is going on, or the HRT or JTE doesn't know what's going to happen. My second tip is please, yes, tell your co-teacher, either your ALT or your JTE, what will happen beforehand. If possible, give them a written lesson plan. I know sometimes we're a bit short on time, but I find that's very useful just so everyone has a quick visual point of reference for what should be happening in the lesson. Next thing is, if you can, include the vocabulary that you need to cover in the day's lesson. If possible, put it in both Japanese and English. For ALTs, this is a good way to practice your Japanese, and it also helps in class because students will quite often want to know what a word is in either English or Japanese, and if you don't know the word, you might not be able to help as much. So that goes for both ALTs and JTEs. If you can, make sure the other teacher knows what the words are for the day. The next thing is, and this is also in that link that was included in the email, I've included a list of classroom instructions in both English and Japanese, and I've got the romanization in there as well, in case you can't read the Japanese characters. And and I've had a native speaker check it, so it's not just, you know, my dodgy Japanese. Anyway, but it's just so you know things like sit down, be quiet, so that you can understand either in English or Japanese what your co-teacher is saying. And so you're not caught blindsided when, you know, the teacher says repeat after the ALT and you're, oh, wait, that's me, because you didn't know what was happening in Japanese. Next thing, we're getting to the end of the list, and then I'll hand over to Ulrike. Basically, if you're facing a language barrier, try to use some simple katakana words, or not katakana words necessarily, but words that have equivalents or sound roughly similar in Japanese and English. Words that you know that this goes for in class as well, words you know your students will know, or if you have, you know, maybe an HRT who, you know, they're not bad at English, but they're, you know, because it's not their specialty, they're, you know, they don't have a master's in speaking English. So for situations like that, or if your Japanese is very basic, that's where I would use those kind of common words to help get your point across. And the very last one is, this idea was actually provided by another Nagasaki City ALT, so thank you to Bethany, who I don't think is in the group. She actually suggested giving a completed version of whatever worksheet you want to give to the students, to your teacher, so that they have a reference. This is also a good tip for JTEs, for those worksheets where you have to translate things from English into Japanese, because as ALTs, we don't always know what the correct Japanese translation is. And that goes the other way as well, especially at elementary school. If you're able to just show what you want the students to do, it's much easier to convey what your actual plan for the lesson is. Okay, all right, I'll stop being the teacher that jumps in at the start of the class with all the in-class announcements that they didn't quite get time for during recess, and I'll hand over to Ulrike and we'll get on to the main lesson. Thanks for listening. And I completely forgot to do those. This is, yes. Okay, moving on.
Okay, so Afrikaans. So in Suid-Afrika het ons 11 amptelike tale en Afrikaans is die derde mees algemene huistaal in South-Africa.
Okay, I'll jump in as the HRT and attempt to translate. So in South Africa, there are 11 official languages, and Afrikaans, as written on the screen, is the third most common first language spoken.
Okay, so vandag kom ons begin met die alfabet.
Now we're going to look at the alphabet.
Yes, so okay. Herhaal agter my aan en wanneer Kate herhaal, asseblief herhaal saam met haar.
Okay, repeat after the ALT.
Yes. Okay. So appel.
Just a quick note, I'm going to put my microphone on mute, but when I'm mouthing along is when you should also be repeating the word. So let's just try that again from the start.
Okay. Appel. Bal. CD. Nou, C word nie baie op sy eie gebruik nie. Dit word gewoonlik saam met 'n h gebruik. So nie baie woorde gebruik C nie.
Okay, so from what I remember, Ulrike did give me a translation of this yesterday. This isn't me translating on the fly here, but she said that C is not actually used very commonly in Afrikaans. It's more often represented with the letter K.
Okay, so volgende. De donkie. Emmer. Fiets. Gaans. Huis. Sorry. Kom ons gaan terug na G toe. G is this is asof jy gargle en jy probeer jou keel skoon maak. So maak
Okay, so in case you didn't hear the word gargle in there, so for that G, the letter G, in Afrikaans, the pronunciation of that, it's almost like you're gargling. It's towards the back of the throat.
So okay. So volgende nee. Ink. Jas. Koek. Leeuw. Muis. Okay. Naald. Olifant. Prins. Quentin. So daar's nie baie woorde met die k klank nie, so dis hoekom hierdie is 'n naam.
Okay, so you might have heard naam. That's one of those words that sound similar. That means name. We'll go through that later, but basically the letter Q isn't very common either. It's usually used in names.
Roos. Hierdie r is 'n vir jou tong rol, soos 'n r.
Yep, so you probably picked that up. It's a tongue roll. It's a rolled R.
Okay. Son. Trein. Hier in trein gebruik jy ook die r klank, trein.
And don't forget to roll that R after the T there.
Okay. Eil. Vark. Wurm. Xylofoon. Hierdie is ook een van daai skaars letters.
So again, Ulrike told me yesterday, I can't translate exactly what she just said then, but but the X there is probably only used in xylophone. It's not a common letter.
Volgende. Ys. Zebra. Okay, so dit is al die letters. So is daar enige vrae of enige letters wat onduidelik is? Sorry, I'm going to go into English here. If there's any like letter that's not clear, you can just maybe send a message in the chat and ask me to like repeat a letter if there's any letter that's unclear. So anyone, if you have a question, you can type into the chat now. I'll wait a few seconds. Oh, V. Yeah, sure. So, okay, so V. Vark. It's almost like, it's similar to fiets. Vark. So V and W are swapped in Afrikaans. W. Vark, wurm. Yes. Okay. Okay, we have the vowels and P, D. Okay, so let's begin with the vowels. So begin with A. Apple. Apple. A. Emmer. Ink. Eil. Eil. And olifant. Okay, in the B, yeah, it is very the same. B is ball. Sorry, I went into English. Ball. The B is a deeper sound and P is more like on, I think it's similar to English, where the B is like a deeper sound and the P is more like a popping sound. Prince. Prince. Okay, so, okay, thank you for your questions. Are there any other questions? Okay, so and her. Yes, again. It's very, I think it's very difficult to hear it, but I'm not sure if this is working. Okay, so once more, Hans. There, huis. No, ha. It's very similar, the place where you form it in your mouth, but in your throat, but the is just the sound where is more like there's some air involved, but there's no really much air involved. It's just the sound. I'm not sure if that's explanation is making sense. There are some other English or Afrikaans speaking or Afrikaans understanding people in the chat, so in this group. So I'm sure like they get it.
I'll just quickly jump in. Yesterday, Ulrike explained it to me while we were practicing our dialogue, our skit that we'll do later, that it's almost like you're clearing your throat. And I found that kind of useful to think of it like that. And yes, Amy's written there like a phlegm sound, which yes.
Yes. Don't worry about it too much now. We're doing the greetings next. So we'll use the G a lot in the greetings. So I think let's go on to the greetings then. Okay, so first is hello. Okay, volgende. Goeiemorgen. Okay. Okay, once more. Goeiemorgen. Okay, so Nick, volgende. Okay, goeiemiddag. Goeiemiddag. Okay, volgende. Goeienaand. Goeienaand. Okay, volgende. Goeienaag. Goeienaag. Okay, volgende. Tot ziens. Tot ziens. Okay, volgende. Okay, nou kom ons gaan deur hulle almal. Hallo. Goeiemôre. Goeiemiddag. Goeienaand. Tot ziens. Goeienaag. Okay. Kom ons gaan terug. Kom ons gaan nou terug van die goeienag af. Ja, so goeienag. Tot ziens. Goeienaand. Goeiemiddag. Goeiemôre. Hello. Okay. I think I'd like to get on to the introductions now. Yeah, so okay, me and Kate will next have a conversation. So ons gaan, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so we are now in the afternoon, so we're gonna say goeiemiddag, né? Okay, so just to clarify, we have a message. E in Afrikaans is pronounced more like the letter F in English and W. Thank you. Okay. So, okay. Please listen and think about what we're saying. Goeiemiddag.
Hallo.
Wat's jou naam?
Ek's Kate. Ek kom van Australië af. What's your name?
Ek's Ulrike. Ek kom van Suid-Afrika af. Aangename kennis.
Aangename kennis.
Okay. So, what did we say? You can type into the chat or you can raise your hand. Yes, good afternoon. We said good afternoon. Hello. What's your name? Where are you from? Oh, very good. Very good. Yes. Hello, what's your name? From. Wow, yeah, you guys got it. Nice to meet you. Yes, that's aangename kennis. Yes. Okay. Baie goed, baie goed. Okay. Ja, ja, aangename kennis, Ulrike, né? Ja. Okay. So, okay, let's just practice these because after this, we're going to break you into kennis.
Kennis, which I'll move the slide forward and you can actually see how it's written.
Yes, yes, that's what we said. After the nou die gaan ons in breakout rooms, so dan gaan julle hierdie oefen.
So yes, we're going to practice this and then we'll go into the breakout room so you can practice in groups.
Okay. So herhaal agter my. Wat's jou naam? Wat's jou naam? Wat's jou naam? Ek's. Ek's. Okay. Aangename kennis. Aangename kennis. Okay. So, let's go. Kom ons kyk na die land se name. So, Amerika, Canada. Ja, okay. Wanneer julle sê ek kom van af, so kom ons begin by Amerika. Amerika.
Amerika.
Amerika. Canada. Canada. Australië. Australië. Japan. Japan. New Zealand. New Zealand. Singapore. Singapore. Suid-Afrika. Suid-Afrika. Verenigde Koninkryk. Verenigde Koninkryk. Ireland is not here. Oh dear. I'm so sorry. So Ireland, we say Ierland. Ierland. Yes. Oh, thank you, Esther. Ierland. And Jamaica. Jamaica. Okay, UK slowly, sure. So this is a long one, the UK. Verenigde Koninkryk. So first let's just do the first word. Verenigde. Verenigde. Okay, now the second word. Koninkryk. Yes. Koninkryk. Is that okay? Okay, great, thank you. Any other questions? Mexico. Yes, so, yes, Mexico. Mexico. Okay, so, okay, let's break into groups. And me and Kate, ons gaan rondbeweeg en ons sal julle help.
Yeah, so Ulrike and I will be jumping through the rooms and we'll help you out.
Okay.
Oh, we've got a request to pronounce Jamaica again.
That's, yeah, Jamaica? I'm not sure. Esther, I see.
Sorry. Okay, sorry, it's Jamaica. That's how you pronounce it. Jamaica.
Jamaica, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you ask what's your name? Okay, so let's go back to that slide. Okay, so wat's jou naam? Wat's jou naam? Okay. Any other questions?
And don't forget, hopefully we've had that link sent through to the chat with the worksheet. So if you do get stuck on what to say, or if you want to just quickly jot down if you've got a piece of paper as well, we'll give you maybe 10 seconds or so to get that done. And then I think we'll go into the breakout rooms. All right.
Okay, so how was it? Could you say it? I think the aangename kennis was, you all, from what I've heard, you all got that down pretty good. So, a lot of fun. Thanks.
Oh, a lot of fun. That's great.
I think we actually have time. Do we want to do different groups? Yes, tot ziens means goodbye. Yes. Sorry, we didn't actually clarify all of the meetings, but tot ziens means goodbye.
Were there any other dialogue? Well, I'm not a native speaker,
Okay, so,
but we can, yes, yeah. Happy to do the skit again. Should we do that?
okay, is there anyone who would like to do the skit with me? Maybe someone from South Africa?
I can see Esther waving her hand.
Okay. Esther, yes. Where are you? Okay.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, so,
I'm enthusiastic. What can I say?
okay,
Okay, let's do this.
awesome. Yes, okay. Goedemiddag.
Goedemiddag.
Ek's
Wat is jou
Ulrike.
naam?
Ek's Ulrike. Ek kom van Suid-Afrika af. Wat's jou naam?
Oh, aangename kennis, Ulrike. My naam is Esther en ek kom ook van Suid-Afrika af. Aangename kennis.
Aangename kennis. It's wonderful. Esther threw in some extra words in there, but Very nice. Anyone else wants to try? Any volunteers?
There should be a raise hand function, or yeah, we'll try and do our best to scroll through the two screens because we've got a lot of participants and see people who are waving their hands.
Yes, so please just wave again if you want. I'll try. Okay, Zach, please. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Goedemiddag.
Hallo, wat is je naam?
Ek's Ulrike. Ek kom van Suid-Afrika af.
Aangenaam kennis. Ex Zachary. Ik kom van Australia af. Aangenaam kennis.
Aangename kennis. Wow, that was very good for a first time. So yes, we had a question. So you can use aangename kennis right after someone introduced himself. It's not always last. I guess usually it's last, like after you've both said your names, you can say aangename kennis. But I think it's a lot like when using yoroshiku in Japanese. Like people, we just say yoroshiku like whenever it feels like I want to say yoroshiku now, so I say yoroshiku. Eh? So, but usually, like after someone says their name, you can say aangename kennis, or after we've both said our names, we can say aangename kennis. Can we break out into rooms again? Okay. Let's break out again for about 5 minutes. Oh, sorry, there was a question before everyone left about pronouns commonly used in Afrikaans, or can they be omitted like Japanese and Spanish? No, you have to use pronouns. So what's jou naam? You have to say like what's your name. So we don't omit the pronouns. What's where are you from? So where are you from? Okay, so yes, waar kom, thank you Esther. Waar kom jy vandaan? Once more. So waar kom jy vandaan? Can everyone see the chat? If you open the chat, then you'll see there's the sentence. Waar kom jy vandaan?
Yes, we've got a question from Bongeka about bai. Yeah, that's casual. We've actually got that on our lesson plan as if we have extra time, there were a couple extra words. So bai, lekker, which was in our title. I'll let Ulrike explain that one in just a second, and dankie. So maybe Ulrike, did you want to just go through those 3 words?
Yes, so bye and bye-bye, you could say it's an informal way, it's a casual farewell greeting. Like tot ziens is a very formal way of saying goodbye. So bye and bye-bye can say as a casual farewell greeting. Yes.
And then did you want to just, oh, here's a good one from Stephen. What's the difference between van and af?
So ek kom van Suid-Afrika af. So van and af together means like from something. So you cannot use like ek kom van Suid-Afrika.
Yep. So I'll just quickly jump in. Having studied German, German has this thing where you can actually split verbs. So in German, the equivalent verb would be aufkommen. Esther, I hope I'm explaining this right. I could see you. Okay, I'll take that as a yes. So yes, so you can split the verbs. So in German, it's aufkommen. And you'll put the kommen first, which means come, and then the from, the auf, goes at the end of the sentence. And I'm guessing, because it's very similar looking in Afrikaans, as Tom's written there, it's got ek kom van Suid-Afrika af. And that van would probably be more like the English from, and then that af is actually just part of the verb, and it's just being whacked to the end. We don't have that in English, but German does. A couple other languages do as well. So yes, that's why it's, for us as English speakers, and probably for the Japanese speakers as well, Japanese doesn't have those types of verbs, but a lot of Germanic languages do. So yes, it's basically just the verb can be split.
Volgende. So can we go back to the slide, please?
Just a second, I'll just put it on screen sharing. Okay, and I'll move it forward to, here we go.
Okay, so this is, hierdie is Afrikaans rock, scissors, paper. So
Yes,
ons
good.
sê ching chong cha. Is dit reg? My Afrikaans.
Yep, so yeah, so this is Afrikaans junkin, or paper, scissors, rock, and we say ching chong cha.
Yes. So it's we say ching chong, and then you on cha you say scissors, papier, skerp papier, klip. We want to leave some time at the end for questions. So let's just do a round of ching chong cha with everyone.
I'm going to actually take it off screen sharing, and for this one we will ask you to go into that gallery view, just so you can actually see what everyone else is doing. I'll turn that off.
Yes.
Okay, hopefully you can see at least half of the people, just because we do have so many participants.
Yes. Okay, so everyone, are you ready? Let's do ching chong cha. Ready? 1, 2. Ching chong cha. I have scissors. So if your paper, then please put down your hand. Okay, let's do another round. Okay, ready? Ching chong cha. Oh, okay. So if you're rock, please put down your hand. Okay, next. Okay, rock, ching chong cha. Oh, okay. Scissors is out. Okay. Is there anyone still, can I just see a show of hands, like who's still in? Okay, ready? Another round. Ching, chong, cha. Okay, we still have someone in. Okay, another round. Ready? Ching, chong, cha. Okay. So we have a Jack and 2 Jacks, I think. Jack Hayes and Zak Kleur. Yeah, good job. Okay, so that is, congratulations. Okay, so we're almost gonna wrap up. Is there any last questions? Yes, okay, sure. So yes, the first one, which I'd like you all to know, is lekker, which is like, I think, the best Afrikaans word. It can mean fun and delicious. Yes,
Is that
lekker,
kind
so.
of the closest you would get to yabai in Japanese? Can it be used as kind of a catch-all for a lot of things?
Yabai, we wouldn't say lekker, I think.
And I'm going to be the HRT and say, no, we are not going to teach you any swear words.
In South Africa, we like a barbecue, and so we call it braai. That's also a big part of South African culture, braai. Yes?
I'm just going to quickly throw in the word for thank you. If you want to pronounce that, yeah, we should.
That's a good one. Thank you. So it's dankie. This is very useful. Nah, I'm not gonna say any swear words. But dankie is a good one. How are you? Hoe gaan dit? Hoe gaan dit? And then if you want to say I'm well or I'm good, then you can say hoe gaan dit? Dit gaan goed. Yeah, you can look up your swear words. It's fine. Goed. Goed means good. Good. Goed. That's where the goeie from goeiemôre comes from. That goeie means good. So good morning, goeiemôre. That goeie comes from this goed.
Okay, so we're in the last minute of our presentation, so we'll answer this last question from Vika, and then I think we'll wrap it up.
So is it common to use how are you in Afrikaans? Yes, it is. It's very common. Very common.
And yes, post-COVID.
Yes, definitely.
Yep. Okay, all right, so we'll finish here. Thank you all so much for coming. Dankie.
Yes. Baie dankie almal. Ek hoop julle kon iets leer. I hope you learned something. And yes, let's do a braai someday.